Guys, we are backstage with the one and only Matt Bennett. Man, this is fantastic. I'm looking forward to this interview for like a month now. So I am so glad you're in Atlanta. Welcome to the A. We glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, of course. So first of all, let me just start by saying thank you to you and your other victorious castmates, because y'all literally, I can speak for my entire generation when I say this, y'all made our childhood.
Well, thank you. It was honestly our pleasure. Like I talk to them about it all the time, and it's just amazing the legacy that it's had. You know, we're 13 years out from when we first premiered, and the fact that people are not only still interested, but sometimes it feels like more interested than ever. It's not something we could have ever anticipated. So it's just amazing that, you know, that people love it still.
I know, yeah. Sometimes you just got to go back and like, sometimes I think I was looking at some reruns the other day on TV and stuff. So it's just like, just it's hard to let go, you know?
Well, I feel like our show benefited. We're kind of one of the first shows that was never unavailable. You know, I talk about this a lot, about why Victorious has resonated for so long. It's because after we got done with the show, we went straight to Teen Nick, and we just got played reruns, and then we got picked up by Netflix. So it feels like we were always available for people to watch. Because for my generation, you know, you'd have to get the VHS or the DVD if you wanted to watch the show, and those would go out of print. So, you know, it's that, plus also the TikTok, the Instagram. We never went away. People could follow and see what we were up to every single day, you know, after the show. So it just never left. Yeah, it's always been a part of people's lives.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. Maybe it was like 10. Y'all started in 2010.
Yep, just about.
Yeah, I was 10 years old.
Really?
I'm 22 now. Yeah.
Oh my God! Happy almost. Is it your birthday soon or
July?
July. Oh, happy almost birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah,
no problem.
Man. So tell me, playing the character of Robbie Shapiro, what was that experience like?
It was fascinating. And so here at Party 101, I talk about it on stage a little bit, about the initial shock of, you know, so I didn't come from an entertainment family. I just grew up in the suburbs of New York and just got very lucky. So to get Nickelodeon's attention and have them fly me all the way out to Los Angeles and then sit me in a conference room with a laptop and say, here's what we're thinking for your character. And they turn it around and it's Jeff Dunham, who's this comedian with a puppet. And my initial reaction was, oh no. I was like, in one hand, it's my dream. Nickelodeon was like the be all end all. It was the coolest thing in the world. But then to be like, oh no, I'm about to be the puppet guy for the rest of my life. But I say this on stage, I end up loving being the puppet guy. Like it was a dream job. I had the time of my life at Nickelodeon. They were so cool to work for. I made some of the best friends of my entire life. So it's funny, you know, I'm just grateful that they saw something in me, because I really was just nobody. I came from nothing. So it's really neat. It's cool.
That's awesome, man. For those of y'all who don't know, Matt is actually on tour doing Party 101, traveling all across the country, playing some of our favorite throwback songs we like to listen to. What are the people in Atlanta going to be hearing tonight?
So I think tonight we're going to play some classic Victoria songs. We're going to do some Disney Channel stuff, Little High School Musical, Little Camp Rock, a couple TV show theme songs. And we also, so one of the new things that I'm implementing, we have a bunch of commercials that we're going to play, a bunch of like just fun music videos and clips that that's the first hour of the show that kind of set the mood. It almost feels like things you would have seen on TV. And now it's, you know, you're watching it, but in a room full of people who are, you know, simultaneously enjoying it at the same time. So
absolutely.
The show, you know, it's interesting. I've been doing this, you know, I've been DJing like on the road for almost like 2 years now, and just how much room there is to experiment and grow this idea out. You know, it's drastically different than it was last year, and every show seems like we're adding new elements and changing it up. So it's been honestly so fun, and I just love, especially post-pandemic, not only me getting to go out, but getting people out of the house. I think it's vital to have, you know, a live music scene, and I'm just very grateful that I get to be the one who travels around, you know, it's silly, it's goofy, just like me, so I love that I get to do it.
I 100% agree. Listen, you know, we were dealing with this pandemic for a while now. It's time to get back out of the house. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you on that for doing this, man. And let me ask you this. So you're DJing now. Where did you get the love for DJing?
So I started, my first time DJing was January 2020. I DJed this night called Candy Pop in Los Angeles, which the emphasis is on like Britney Spears, NSYNC, Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys, that type of thing. But when I went up there, I was playing that, and everyone was enjoying it. But the second that I switched into Victoria songs, Ariana songs, Disney Channel, I put some Hannah Montana on, the roof blew off the place. And I'm like, aha, that's interesting. There's something here. Like. Yes. So I was like, I think I could do this more often. And then the pandemic hit. So I moved it over to Twitch. I was live streaming during the pandemic, and I would do things like, what I started with was playing Fortnite. Nobody cared. I'm not good at Fortnite. I just like playing it. So we started with Fortnite, and then I started doing movie and Victorious watch-along streams where I would just talk, like do my own commentary, watching old episodes and explain like, oh, this, here's, I remember this line being different or this, and just telling stories about it. And they liked that, but I really wanted to tap back into DJing. So I would do different themed streams. So one of the streams that I did was all Kids Bop music. It was all the Kids Bop versions of stuff. Another one that I did was, I called it Emo Afternoon. So we have Emo Night, which is all emo music. I did all the acoustic versions of the emo songs. And then at the end, I would toss it out to the Twitch stream, the viewers, the chat, and I would say, what do you guys want to hear? And of course they would say Victoria songs. So I was like, all right, I'll play them for you. And I noticed, because I would also simultaneously live stream on TikTok, and I would notice that we would jump up from 200 or 300 viewers to 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200 every time I would play Victoria songs. And the second that I would stop, they would all leave. So I was like, okay, there's something here. And, we got enough viewers. It got the attention of a local DJ who knew one person at Live Nation. And he was like, do you want to do this on a stage? And I'm like, yeah, totally. And it would just really quickly, within like 3 months, it just popped off. And so, yeah, that's pretty much how it started.
Oh, congratulations.
It was really TikTok, too. Like, I underestimated how powerful that algorithm is. But the second, I think that it was probably our Dallas or Chicago show, because we brought out Daniela Monet, who played Trina on Victorious. And she came out for 45 seconds and sang Chicago and then left. And it was immediately, overnight, we went from playing tiny venues to just, I think this one's like 1,500 or 1,600 tonight. I think that the cap is usually we do like 2,000 or 2,100, and it's just a big old dance party and sing along and just big old goofy time where you never know what's going to happen. You may get a celebrity guest. You may have, we've had Andre's grandma come out. Yeah, and dude, that's been one of the treats of my life is, this gives me a reason to reconnect with people that I haven't talked to in a long time. So we brought out Andre's grandma, and we were sitting her name's Marilyn, and we were sitting backstage and talking, and it turns out we have a lot in common, which is weird because she's, an older lady, but we have like the same taste in music. And so I get along with her and her husband, Percy, and we're talking about going to see concerts when I'm back in town together. So it's just fascinating. I love that this, with this night, I get to just see people again and talk to people and connect with people.
That's awesome. Because, when was the last time all of y'all were together?
I mean, we've had a couple of, cast reunion dinners and hangouts, but it's been a while, especially because of the pandemic. A lot of people, not just from the Victoria's cast, but just actor friends in general are like, I don't think we need to be in LA anymore. So a lot of people have gone and left and, hit the road or moved to, places where you can spread out a little bit, have more space.
Yeah. Okay. And let me ask you, so you're DJing and stuff. So where did you learn the talents for DJing? Because you have to be really talented to spin the turntables.
Well, so when I first got interested, I took a class with this group called the Beat Junkies. They're classic vinyl scratching DJs based out of Los Angeles. So I took classes there, and then of course the pandemic happened. So my friend Shintaro Yasuda, who we make music together, he helped me. He produced an album. It's called Thank Me Next. So Ariana was from Victorious put out an album called Thank You Next. I did a full cover album with Shintaro. And so we put that out together, and he also knows how to DJ, so he really taught me the basics. But it's also kind of just intuitive. If you have an ear for it, you can pick it up. It's not as difficult as people would say, but I don't know. Maybe it just comes to me naturally. I'm not sure.
Okay, got it. Oh wow, man, this is awesome. Great experience sitting here talking to you, man, getting these stories and stuff. I mean, because this is what the viewers want to hear.
Oh yeah, but chock full of stories.
Oh yeah,
whatever you want to hear.
And I, this question, you probably knew this question was coming, but So you guys, like I said, my generation grew up watching you guys. We also grew up watching iCarly.
Yeah.
iCarly has their reboot going right now.
Right,
Will there
right.
be a victorious reboot?
Honestly, so we've talked about it. There have been like 2 or 3 serious talks about rebooting Victorious that, obviously didn't happen yet. But with this, I feel like the conversation is open again. Like, I've been putting ideas out, floating things, to people. I think that it's possible. I don't know exactly what form it'll take. Some people want a movie. I think an animated series would really go a long way. You could I want to do something like Muppet Babies.
Okay.
Do you know the show Muppet Babies,
Yeah.
where you can tell as many different stories. You could do parodies, because towards the end of the run of Victorious, we were doing parodies of movies like The Breakfast Club. We did the April Fool's episode. So doing something like animated, you could do anything really, and you could keep it running for a very long time, and I could guarantee everybody would want to do a voice for something like that. Beyond that, I could see Robbie coming back in some way. I would really love a Robbie. Robbie becomes a teacher at Hollywood Arts, and he rents an apartment under Andre's grandma or something. Like, whatever happens,
ready.
Whatever happens, I just want to bring Marilyn into it, because I'm telling you, like, when she came out at the Anaheim show, it was like Elvis Presley had come back from the dead. It was like the Beatles had just reunited. People were losing their minds, and she didn't miss a beat. She came in with a vengeance. It was like, like the 10 years since the last time she played Andre's grandma. It was just, a minute. She was just back in it. So whatever happens, Marilyn, you're in. I want to do something. I want to work with Marilyn. I think she's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, because the people love her. I mean, she's awesome and she's hilarious.
Dude, she's so funny. And the funny thing about it is she was only in like 7 or 8 episodes, but overwhelmingly she's the fan favorite character. And I know this for a fact. When they would run the pilot, when they were testing it for audiences, they would ask the audience to fill out questionnaires. And overwhelmingly, the audience said their favorite character, more than Robbie, Kat, Tori, Jade, Trina, more than any of us. It was Andre's grandma. That was the most popular character. Wow. And for a good reason. She's so funny. And I love that she found, that avenue, especially so late in life. Because she was, already well into her adult years.
Yeah, wow. And you landed this amazing role. Like, this is once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
How did you get to this point? Like, what was going on, auditions and stuff in your acting career? How'd you get into acting?
Yeah, well, so like I said, my parents weren't in the entertainment industry. They just saw like I had a little bit of talent. So we went to a local community theater. It was called The Stage in Merrick. I grew up on Long Island in New York. And the teachers were like, he's good. You should like enroll him in this class and we'll see what we can do. And they knew one manager, and the manager knew an agency. And it just kind of happened, not fast. It took me a couple of years to build up to it. That's the main thing, especially I'm glad it happened to me at the time that it did, because it was before social media. Twitter didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist. TikTok didn't exist. And those platforms make everything feel so immediate, like you need to be doing everything now. Growing up without it, I was able to figure myself out without that, the pace, the fast-pacedness of everything. So, taking classes, taking 2 years, 3 years of classes was, it was good. It was beneficial. And I think that if, for people who are watching, getting involved in local activities to start is the most important thing, because, doing local community theater, doing acting classes really helped me build a sense of community and talk to other young people who were passionate about the same thing. And, it kept me going, kept me moving forward. You feel a momentum growing when you can go to a place, and perform and act. And there may not be a lot near you, but I can guarantee you could find some type of community. And if you can't find it, make it. Go and make your own, little acting troupe and act on sidewalks. I used to busk, not often, but my friend and I were in a band, and we would get our acoustic guitars and play on the sidewalk. Do it. It's fun. That's the other thing. I make a career out of it, but I make sure that everything that I do, I'm proud of, and it's something that I want to do and that it's fun for me. I'm lucky. I'm lucky in that way that I'm able to make a living doing something that's fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, because I know it's a lot of, and I'm glad you said the stuff that you said, because I know it's a lot of viewers out there who are watching right now who are interested in becoming actors and actresses and stuff. And like I can say, when I was little, like watching y'all, like I said I either wanted to be a Disney Channel star or a Nickelodeon star. Either one works for me.
Right.
That was just the dream back then. Everybody wanted that.
Yeah, and it's also hard now because we were really the last. This is my term, I coined it, but we were the last of what I call the monoculture. Before everybody was looking at different feeds, where different algorithms showing you whatever you wanted to see. We were on television when everybody was watching television. We were watched by millions of people. That just doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, I mean, it's harder now to get that start, but if you get down to what makes you unique and what makes you stand out and you lean into it, you'll find your community. And it may not be the biggest audience, but trust me, I've seen the highest highs of the industry and the lowest lows. You don't want the highest highs. You really don't want to get up there. Like, make a comfortable living doing the thing that you love, or at least having that for you. You don't have to monetize it. Just like have an output for yourself. Find what you feel passionate about putting out into the universe and lean into it. You'll get results from it. I can guarantee that. It may not be the biggest thing, but I have a friend, Brian, who really inspires me because he got involved in local politics just in his town. And that's what he wanted to make a difference. And he's helped oversee painting murals across everything, about getting sidewalks taken care of. And honestly, he got he kind of spearheaded getting bicycles put in, because I live in Los Angeles, where bicycles are hard to come by. It's really hard to find. Public transit is tough. So he was like, we should have bicycles, and he helped spearhead that movement. And all he did, you just had to ask, to get involved. But it's things like that really do make a difference. I think starting in your community first is a really important step.
Yeah, that's so important, and I'm glad you said that stuff. That was definitely a good word in there. Earlier, you also touched on something about starting your own thing. And I think that's so powerful because, it's a lot of you guys out there who are watching right now, a lot of those people, they're content creators, making their own content, creating their own content, doing their social media skits. Like, it's people who have gotten like big time acting gigs by just doing skits on social media.
It's true. Well, I mean, that's the lottery though. Like, I know it seems like a easy thing. Oh yeah, we'll just go viral on TikTok. But yeah, like that's one good way. It's definitely a strong tool. But I do think it's important as well to make a community around you where you can go somewhere and talk to and interact with people in your community. That really does go the extra mile, because it's tough to stay motivated and create stuff alone. I have a team with me. It's only 2 people, but we have a group. You're going to have to learn how to collaborate with other people in this industry, especially if you end up being on a TV show or in a movie, hundreds of people. You're going to have to understand how to talk and interact with. So the sooner that you can get experience engaging with people in the real world, I think the better. And not just in school. Like, go and find people with similar interests. They exist. They're out there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, definitely, like, I'm telling you, having a rally of team, like, or having a rally, like a team behind you really helps you out. And it's so good. And shout out to your team, because, hey, I mean, you guys are killing it, Party 101. Since you've been on tour, let's talk a little bit about the tour so far.
Sure.
Since you've been on tour, what city has been the best, the wildest, the loudest? Well, what's been the best show?
This year, so all of them are really, really good, and they feel like they get better every show. We just got done with a bunch of Florida dates that culminated in Orlando, and Orlando always goes off because we usually do the House of Blues at Disney Springs. So, of course, all the kids in the college program come out, all of the cast members, people who, dress up in costumes, at the parks come in, and that's like a big celebration because, we all are passionate about, especially the Disney and the Nickelodeon side of things. But there are like little places that I never considered going to. That's the best part of this is like, do you want to go to Gainesville, Florida? And I'm like, yes, I do. Why? Because I've never been before. And I want to know what it's like out there. We went to Pensacola, Florida. I was like, I want to see Pensacola. what's going on in Pensacola? Let me, get to the bottom of it. And it was really fun. That was a really fun show, especially it was a little bit smaller, a little bit more intimate. My roots, besides growing up watching Nickelodeon and Disney, I would go to local punk shows. I had friends that were in a heavy metal band in high school, and I would go and we would mosh, and that's the kind of energy that I try and bring to these shows. It's Nickelodeon and Disney meets like a punk club with a little bit of Magic Mike thrown in, but it's just me. So, places like that. Last year we did Salt Lake City. That one went really, really well. That one went off. I'm looking forward to pretty much anywhere that I haven't been before, but also going back and revisiting, because we get a lot of people who come again. I did 4 shows. It was my 4th show in Orlando, and I now remember people by name, and we have running bits, inside jokes and stuff, and it's like a little homecoming.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. And it was crazy because I was watching I follow the Instagram and stuff, and I was looking at the Instagram, and you had reposted these people wearing these Robberazzi t-shirts, right? Yeah. So who's making these Robberazzi t-shirts?
Well, so we sell Robberazzi shirts, but people we encourage people to come however they want to dress. So we get a lot of people in handmade Matt Bennett shirts, handmade Robbie shirts, Rex shirts. A lot of people with Rex on their t-shirts. But we also get people dressed up in like Disney Channel Games shirts, or people dressing up like Cyclewitz, people dressing up in like the Blonde Squad. It's people, feel comfortable. I want people to feel comfortable dressing however they want to, leaning into the costume aspect, and just letting their freak flag fly is really what this is all about.
Man, that's pretty cool. So now we're here in Atlanta, and obviously this is gonna air. This is gonna air afterwards. So you can tell me now. But will there be a special guest tonight?
Well, our special guest tonight is our opener, DJ Erin Constantine. She's really, really good. We have some openers lined up for future shows. Okay. So you never know. You never know who's gonna come out, when and where. Honestly, we have some in very random places. It could be your town. It really could. I'm not kidding. It's so bizarre. Because, I float out to my friends. I say, like, hey, here's my schedule. Are there any dates that you want to come to? And they'll be like, I have family in such and such a place. I would like to be there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Random. Like, I'm telling you, the most random locations are going to get some special treats. So, and I love that about this. I have a lot of friends who grew up, with me on Nickelodeon and Disney, who just get it, who are like, this is fun. You touched on something very interesting and unique, and we want to help however we can. So it's really neat.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, when you're out there, you're having fun, you're having a good time, and you're giving the people a show. I mean, the Atlanta show, I went online, looked at the tickets. The Atlanta show is sold out. Like, you're killing it.
Yeah. Most of the major markets, the shows sell out. And even like the smaller shows, even if it's not completely sold out, it's still like it's about the community of it. It doesn't matter the size of the show. It's the passion that everybody brings to it. Myself included. Like me, I just feed off the crowd. So the energy that they're bringing, I just can toss right back at them. So yeah, we make even the not sold out shows feel sold out.
Okay, kudos, man, and like I said, congratulations again on the show, and I know it's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I appreciate that, but I will say, I appreciate the congratulations, but this is your show. Like I love doing it, and I feel very lucky and appreciative, but I'm doing it like this is for you guys. Like this, I understand what people are looking for here, and I'm happy that I get to be the one who does it. So I'm appreciative that you guys are giving me the opportunity to even just do it. That's the cool thing.
Wow, pretty cool. All right, so we talked about that. I want to get into the show itself and then some of your other acting gigs and stuff. And cool. What can you say, like, since you've been acting, obviously you've done Victorias and stuff. What are some other things that you've done within acting that you've enjoyed, some other shows and movies?
So for the people who don't watch Victorious, the thing that I can like toss out there where people go, oh my God, I played Helen's stepson in the movie Bridesmaids. I had 2 lines, but for whatever reason, they resonated with the audience. I don't want to curse here, but they're quite profane. But just that movie touched a nerve with a lot of people. People love that; it's their comfort movie, and that one always. it's just amazing the legacy that has had. You know, I couldn't have anticipated that movie would be as popular as it is. So yeah, that one I'm really proud of. And yeah, I mean, like mostly just popping up in random television shows. You know, but I don't know, like Victorious really was the thing. It's hard to make another thing it's going to be hard making another thing as big as Victorious. It
was huge. I mean, still is huge.
And you know, it's a show aimed at, you know, young people, at kids. You know, we were a part of people's upbringing. You know, I always refer to the movie The Truman Show, where they kind of show people watching it, and it's like a guy in a bathtub, it's like somebody going to sleep, it's people in, you know, Japan with Truman pillows. And I know that we soundtracked a lot of people's, you know, people watch us going to sleep, people watch us with their, you know, siblings, with their parents. And you know, we get that sometimes. We get parents who come out to the shows, and I usually single them out. I'm like, it's dad, mom. It becomes like a whole family affair. And that's what, you know, my big hero in life is and always has been Weird Al Yankovic, because you go to his shows and the age range is 7 to 70. And I'm like, that's cool. That's what I like. That's what I want. I want everyone to feel comfortable coming here. It doesn't matter, you know, what race, religion, sexual orientation, skin color, anything, you know, it's welcoming for everybody, every age range. It's just a big goofy time.
And I can tell you this, like growing up and stuff, because I think this was like around my elementary, middle school year days. And I can tell you, like, the topic at school was like, oh, hey, you watching Victorious tonight, or did you watch the episode over this weekend? Like that was literally the talk, like that, because, you know, show usually come out on Friday, so like that Monday we're talking about, oh, did you see the most recent episode and stuff? And like for me, because you said about watching with parents and stuff, like, so I'm the only child, so either I would be watching it with my cousin, or I'd be like, hey, mom or dad, hey, Victorious is on, let's watch, you know? So,
that's nice.
Yeah, so.
You know, and I figured that was the case, that people liked watching the show. People enjoy it. But, you know, I live in Los Angeles where everybody's on a TV show. So, you know, I was able to just lead a normal life, you know, go down to the coffee shop, go to the record store, and just be a dude. But now that I'm doing this and I get to go out, and usually if I have the time, I try and hang out after the show and talk to as many people as I can. Just, it helps me fine-tune the show.
People appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I like hearing from them. I ask, like, what songs didn't I play that you want to hear next time? Or, like, what did you think of this new aspect? And, you know, just getting, you know, their feedback really helps make the show better. So, but it's cool. Like, I assumed that people liked the show. I assumed people watch it. But now I'm like, oh, they really like the show. Okay. I mean, like, I figured, but now I'm like, oh, I know now. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. We watch it religiously, I'm telling you, religiously, man.
Yeah. And it's different. You know, I always gravitated toward television more than movies, just because, you know, it becomes a presence in your house. So in that way, they feel like we're familiar to them. You know, we were in their living room. So it's a different type of, I don't like the word fame, but, you know, of notoriety or, you know, people feeling familiar with us because we were there. We're almost like parts of the family. Yeah. So that's why it's fun. Once again, like having a mom or dad come, I'm like, yeah, dad. The dads are always just like, oh my God, it's Robbie. Sometimes it's the parents that freak out the most.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I love that so much. So talk about what was doing the show. What was a typical day like on set? Like, what were some of the call times and stuff? How long were you guys filming and stuff? Yeah, bloopers. What was that?
Oh yeah. So I was. You know, we all were, I think the youngest was Leon, who was about 15 years old. I started, I think most people were 16. I think I started at 17. So I turned 18 on the 4th episode, which was Tori the Zombie. So because I was a legal adult, they would make me work the late hours, so it was usually scenes with me and Trina, because Daniela was, I think, 20 at the time that we started. So our usual work week was Monday through Friday. Monday, Tuesday, we would rehearse. Sometimes we would rehearse on Wednesday as well, but usually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday shoot days. And those, you know, you could usually schedule Monday and Tuesday pretty well, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was late. You know, we would usually, the worst type of day would be they schedule you very early and then very late. So when I was moving, I made a point to find an apartment close to Nick on Sunset, which is where we shot the show, so that if I had a really early and then late thing, I could just go home. But so that was pretty neat. And then weekends, sometimes we would have to do Nickelodeon promos. Sometimes on our weeks off, we would do the web content, which now has a life of its own. That was really fun. I liked. That was something that Schneider's Bakery did that was unique, which was make web content. He did it for iCarly as well, where you would get to see the characters. Give them a little monologue. Robbie would play guitar, play some songs, sing with Rex, and it gave him a little opportunity to be a little bit different. Oh, cool. Okay, so doors just opened. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, yeah, we'll be wrapping it up
they just
here.
played. Yeah, they played. When I hear Miranda Cosgrove, I know that people are the people are in the building now.
Oh yeah,
that's our first song.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we'll be wrapping it up here in just a sec. But
no rush.
How much time you got?
I mean, as long as it's not interrupting the audio, then I can talk to you as long as you need.
We can have Miranda in the background. We like Miranda.
Yeah, I just don't want you to get a copyright strike.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. So as far as doing the show and stuff, can you talk about were there stressful days? What were those stressful moments that people don't see on camera?
Honestly,
and how did you overcome those?
I loved working on the show so much. There weren't stressful days. The one thing that stands out was the Brain Squeezers episode. We ended up shooting that until 3 or 4 in the morning. Wow. And we were that one was just tiring. It was mostly if we were all tired, but we all liked each other so much that it was just fun. We got reprimanded a couple of times for talking too much on set because we were young kids. We were in our teens. We just wanted to chill, hang out, chat and everything.
Hang out with each other. Yeah, that's
the only other one I can think of was the cupcake episode where we're in the big cupcake because I was sick with the fever or something. I get sick maybe once a year, but when I get sick, and that was the week. So that was tough. But no, I mean, I think that's one of it comes across how much we liked each other, and how we're all still friendly and we all still chat. I think people, picked up on that. Yeah, wow. So yeah, there was no, never a dull moment.
Okay, that's pretty good. And I gotta ask you, what was your favorite moment during the show? That moment was wow, like that was the moment. Because I can say for me, with
please.
you, my favorite moment was the Broken Glass, hands down. The Broken
All
Glass
right,
song,
heck
hands
yeah.
down.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because obviously, wrote that song. We play it sometimes here at the show. That was one afternoon for me in my life, and the fact that the legacy of it has just kept going and growing. I love it. It's fascinating. It's fascinating what people like and what they latch on to. I guess did they run that episode a bunch or something? People probably watched.
Yeah, that was popular. It was
that
funny.
One was?
I would just rewind it back just to hear the song.
Yeah,
it was
you'll hear it tonight. And I bring out a little harmonica and I do a harmonica solo over it live. So it's a treat for me. I like the more props that I get to use in the show. I feel like the better, But yeah, so the episode where everything kind of clicked for us was the Trapped in an RV episode. Because that was the first one where we were all together as a cast, where we were all doing something. And then once the writers and directors took note, we got to put them in a setting together again, that's when we started doing more episodes like Yoruba, where we're all trapped in jail, and Wanko's Warehouse, where we're all trapped in the warehouse room. So yeah, that was the first one where it really felt like we as a cast clicked. And I always look back on that favorably as oh man, that was cool. And they also gave me some of the funniest bits, with the fan that oscillates and me drinking the water from the cap and putting my head in the water thing, or in the water tank. Yeah, that was.
Was that really dirty? I mean,
oh
they made
yeah.
It look, wow.
Yep. Yeah, fish died in that thing.
Wow.
I know they usually say no animals were harmed in the making of this. I mean, I think the statute of limitations is up. Yeah, there was definitely a dead goldfish by the end of that shoot.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow, man. Well, I appreciate you so much for sharing those stories with us, and we had a great time talking to you. But before we go, I got to ask you.
Yeah, please.
You're doing this tour. Mm-hmm. What's next? What can people expect next? What's in the future?
So more tour dates. We're trying to hit up overseas shows. And then what I kind of want to do with this is make it different seasons. So, we can theme it around Halloween, Christmas. So next up, what I want to do and what I'm trying to make happen now is Camp 101. So it's going to be a summer camp themed type thing. So, because right now the whole idea with Party 101 is, and I hope I'm not ruining anything for you, but you're not in wherever your home state is. We're not in Georgia right now. We're in Los Angeles at Hollywood Arts. Everybody in the audience is the students. So after this, what happens next? Well, summer camp. So that's what I'm trying to work on now, is making that the next, the summer run of it.
Okay.
But I'm just loving it. I love getting to travel, and I love getting to meet everybody, and I want to keep doing it for a while.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely keep doing it, because I can tell you, I mean, sold out shows. I mean, the people love it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and it's amazing too. Like I said, I did 4 shows in Orlando in less than a year, and we just keep selling it out. And that's just one market. Like, we're going back to places and having people come out again and again and again. And once it becomes like a family, like a community, I remember people. I'm like, oh, it's you, it's Trevor. Hey, Trevor, what's up? How's your leg? Trevor has nothing wrong with his leg, but that's the example that came to mind. Hey, Trevor, what's going on? So it's that every night, and I love now that we're hitting up markets for a second or third time. And once again, the show keeps getting better and better. I'm getting more and more comfortable DJing in public, and we're adding different aspects and elements. So it'll just keep growing.
Okay, awesome, man. Oh yeah. Before we go, I gotta ask you about your fashion too, because you have
a
nice sweater on.
Oh,
you
thank
got
you.
These new glasses and stuff. So what are some of your favorite brands? Your favorite places to shop?
Well, okay, so this is All Saints right now. I'm mostly looking for things that are comfortable and breathable, and that I'll be a little bit gross, I can sweat in, because I really move and jump and dance on that stage. So I find that I like Y3 a lot. That's Adidas makes them, and especially if you go on websites like Essence or End, they're always on sale. So I just stock up on these pants. But honestly, I don't have big expensive tastes or anything, so most of my money goes to like Depop, where I buy vintage band T-shirts or something. Like I've stepped up my I got some Weird Al shirts in the mail and just weird stuff. I'm into like just weird bonkers clothing. So that's mostly what I've been buying my stuff.
Wow, awesome.
And then like also things that are wearable. Like this is G-Shock.
Okay.
Wear this on stage just so that I can keep track of the time, but it can get sweated on and not get messy. And this was just on Amazon for like $10.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, I love it, man. And then of course, gotta ask you this. Okay. And I know the viewers want to know this too. Did you get to keep the puppet?
So here's the interesting thing. I shot a video with Rex where we explain what happened in the last 10 years since the thing, and we're trying to get it ready. We're having trouble with the voice. We're trying to get the voice right. So that's where we're currently at. But
see Rex.
Rex is back, baby. Rex is back.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you so much for taking time to sit down with me.
It's my pleasure.
This exclusive one-on-one, backstage interview. Doesn't get better than this.
Would you like a donut to go?
Oh, yeah. We're going to get some donuts to go. Absolutely. We're going to get those. But anything you'd like to leave with the viewers before we go?
Stay classy. Stay in school. Read books. And I know this is going to sound weird. Like, follow your dreams, I guess. I give a little speech at the end of every show, and basically the core of it is, you know what's best for you. You know what your strengths are. Play into it and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Follow your instincts, because, I feel like that's what worked for me and took me this far. So, yeah, lean into it. And don't be afraid about being weird. Don't be afraid about being strange. You'll find your community. The internet's strong, but also at the same time, like I said, build your own community.
Very inspirational word, and that's a great note to end it on. Thank y'all so much for watching. This has been Tyrik Wynn. Make sure y'all go follow me, Tyrik Wynn, iHeartMedia on all platforms, and catch you guys next time.
Peace.